huckleberry.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an installation video for the Attero Bravo mount for the AK Optic. So let's go ahead and open up the box and see what comes inside. So inside the box you are going to get a bag that includes an Allen wrench, a replacement for your rear sight leaf spring, a push pin, and a bolt to lock everything together, as well as Loctite. Also included in the box is the mount itself, but I've already pre-installed the SIG Romeo 5 Gen 2. So this is also to let you guys know the Gen 2 of the SIG Romeo 5 will fit a Bravo mount with no issues whatsoever. If you want to see how to install the Romeo 5 to the Attero Bravo Optic mount, check out the video where I did the unboxing on the Romeo 5 Gen 2. I went ahead and installed it on the mount in that video. But a quick version, there are 4 screws on the bottom of the Optic. You'll take the original mount off, you'll put it on the Attero mount, you'll re-Loctite and reinstall those 4 screws. And just check to make sure everything is torqued to spec. And of course I did torque it off camera, but I wanted to make sure nothing had come loose. Better safe than sorry in that regard. Alright, so the weapon we'll be mounting this on today is none other than the PSA GF3 Bakelite AK47. I love AKs as far as the overall appearance of them. It's not my primary choice for a weapon, but I do like them. They're iconic. But for the life of me, the fucking iron sights on an AK just, they don't work well with my eyes. I can shoot them okay, but it's certainly not at a level that I'm comfortable with. So I want to go ahead and put a red dot on it. I wanted to get an optics mount that is pretty low in weight, because one thing I do like about the GF3 is that it's a very light rifle. So I didn't want to get like a big side mount that's going to add a lot of weight to the gun. I didn't want to spend, $150 on a mount. So looking at the Attero Bravo mount, I got this thing for about 75 bucks, and it's very lightweight. I don't think it's going to change the weight of the gun very much. This whole package here, it feels basically weightless. So it's probably 6-7 ounces. If I decide to weigh it, I'll annotate the weight, or I'll look it up and annotate the weight of these two combined and put it somewhere in here. But in order to remove it, or to install it rather, we're going to have to remove the rear sight leaf, and then we're going to have to put that in. Let me go ahead and set up and readjust the camera for a better view so you guys can see the vise, and let's do a step-by-step walkthrough and figure this out together. See you guys in a moment. Alright guys, hopefully that'll give you a pretty good view of how to do this. And I've never done this before, so we're going to figure it out together. So I do know the first step is going to be raising this leaf. That'll expose the leaf spring underneath it. You're going to have to depress that spring. I'm going to try to find a little punch to do that with. And then should be able to pull the sight leaf out. Alright, going to try something a little different here. This is how I saw it done on the Military Arms channel. So he's rolled up a rag here and bunched it under the sight. We're going to see if we can tap it out with a punch. Not like that, asshole. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to try using this little stubby flathead to push that spring down. Alright, so I feel like I had it down. So you have to push the rear sight down. And the spring. Well, that was a lot easier. Instead of trying to fight with the spring separately from the rear sight, just push the fucking rear sight straight down and then pull on it. It pops right off. Now to get the spring out of the way, let's Let's find some needle nose pliers and just lift it and pull it right out. Alright guys, so the next step, you're going to take the leaf spring replacement that comes with your Attero Bravo mount. It is going to go with the extended side up. I got to remember where my camera's at. With the extended side up, there is a little recess cut out there where it will slip in where your original one came from. Just like that. Now, all of the instructions I've watched so far say to put the mount on, install the screw loosely, and then after you do that, you can put the roll pin in and then take the screw back out and put Loctite on it. But I don't see any reason why you can't start with the Loctite now and still thread it in loosely. So we're going to try that. So I'm going to put my screw on there. Go ahead and open up my little Loctite tube that they include. Going to put a dab on the threads. I'm also going to put a dab on the screw itself in a couple of different places. I want to make sure I get this thing fully seated. There we go. That is Loctited up. Okay. So we're going to make sure that's seated all the way back. We'll take the mount, drop it in place, and per the instructions, we will lightly, so just a couple of turns so it doesn't fall out, but we will lightly install the screw. Next, you have your roll pin. Let's see. For this next step, I am going to readjust the camera again so you guys can see, because I don't really think I need the vise for the rest of this. So give me just a moment to readjust, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I now have the rifle on the side. We're going to lift up on it a little bit. Damn, did my screw come out? No, it didn't. Tighten that up just a little bit more. Okay. Gotta make sure we push that to the rear. Gotta put our roll pin in. This is not that hard to do. It's really fucking hard to do on camera. Alright, let's prop that up on something. Alright guys, I may have to do this part off camera just so I don't lose my fucking mind here. But it's not that difficult. It's a roll pin. You're going to adjust the light. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright. Loosen that boy up a little bit more. Okay. So anyway, You got to take your roll pin, you're going to line up this notch, like so. This is going to be our roll pin for the demonstration. Better yet, this wheel. You're going to put the roll pin through like that, and that's going to be it. Let me get the roll pin installed. I'll come back and show you guys the rest after that, because if I try to do this on camera, I have a feeling I'm going to get demonetized. See you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, so I got the roll pin in. Once it's installed, you want to make sure that it is slightly proud on both sides evenly, which it is. And then you want to make sure that your bolt and nut are pushed back as firmly as possible, and you want to just tighten it down. Now they do not give you a torque specification that I see, but they say torque it down as tight as you can without breaking it. So that feels about right to me. Now I am going to give this a full 24 hours to cure before I shoot it, just to let the Loctite dry up. But it does look pretty good. Putting it on the shoulder, it is the perfect location for a red dot on an AK in my opinion. It lines up perfectly with the original stock. Let's see what takedown looks like. Okay. So you can absolutely remove the dust cover without taking the mount off. You can also reinstall it. Looks good. Alright guys, so hopefully this video answered more questions than it created, but I'm really happy with my installation. Tomorrow I'll take it to the range, and I'll include that at the end of the video. We'll go ahead and test this thing out, show how I zero it, and we'll see how this thing does, guys. But based off the reviews I've seen so far, I'm confident this is going to be a great mount. Just got to do it like you're supposed to, give everything time to cure properly so your Loctite sets up, and let's see how this thing does. Really excited. See you guys at the range tomorrow for me, but in about 1 second for you. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I live in redneck country, so when one person brings a gun outside, everybody joins in. So there's somebody off on the other side of the woods shooting. No big deal. It's a normal way of life out here for us. But here it is, guys. You just saw the installation. This is the Attero Arms Bravo mount with the Romeo 5 Gen 2 on the GF3 AK47 by PSA. So I want to go ahead now and zero it. I'm going to use my CV Life bore sighter and get it on paper. And then we'll go ahead and at 25 yards, we'll walk it into the bullseye and see how long that takes. So let me go ahead and switch the camera around, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Cool. All right, so there's the Attero Bravo mount mounted to the AK. I do have a CV Life bore sighter in the end right now. And I'm going to go ahead now and just use the bore sighter to try to get on paper at 25 yards to take some of the guesswork out, save a little ammo. All right, now the red dot lines up pretty well with the bore sighter as well as the iron sight. So let's put this thing on paper at 25 yards, see how it does. Slant brake is reinstalled. And the rifle is chambered. Let's see how this thing does. Alright, there's the first 3 rounds. Gun's on safe. Let's go check the target. Alright, so as you can see, we're about 6 inches high, maybe slightly left. So I'll move it over right a little bit and move it down. Okay. So we need to come down. Pretty good amount. I think I'm favoring slightly left. So I also want to come right. Just a couple of clicks. And let's see how this does. All right, let's see what that one looks like. All right, so you can see there we're still a little high and now slightly right. So I went too far to the right. And need to come down a little bit more. Let's get that done. See you at the table. All right. Went a little too far right, so we're going to go left 1. Still need to come down a pretty good amount. Gonna try that. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's see what that one looks like. All right, so somehow the shots are further right than they were. Pretty sure I'm spinning that fucking thing in the right direction. Let's see. I'm gonna use the iron to try to figure this shit out. Okay. All right, we were good there elevation wise. Let's see how we're doing right to left now. I'm gonna go ahead and try 100 yards. All right, 100 yards is hitting. Let's go see what that target looks like. All right, so as you can see, that's pretty much where I wanted. That one shot, I did feel that I pulled to the right. That's why I fired 4. And the other 3 were in a nice little group right under the bullseye at 25 yards. I do feel like I want it just under. I know Robski on AK Operator Union says to just zero it at 25 and it's good out to 300. I'm going to test that myself. I know typically I like my 25 to be just a hair under the bullseye because of the distance of the optic over the bore. And it's just how I typically zero AR-15s. I may be wrong in that. Robski definitely is a more competent AK shooter than I am, most certainly. But I think this is going to work for me. You know, your mileage may vary, so do what you want. But that's it for zeroing. We're going to go ahead and flip this thing around and get back to the demonstration of it. See you guys in a moment. All right, so we got everything zeroed. Let's go ahead and do a demonstration on this thing. I will say so far, based off of what I had shooting off a bag here, zeroing the rifle, I really fucking love the location of the optic in this, with this bracket, this mounting position. It is rock solid. I don't have any type of movement or play in it. And as you saw in that last clip, I was able to confirm zero shooting steel out at 175 yards. Shooting steel at 75 and 100 yards. It's not 175. Don't let me confuse you. I don't want people calling me out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just see how this thing performs. Running like a champ. Did have a couple misses there at 100. AKs are not usually my forte, so I'm still kind of getting used to that platform. But I got to say, I do like it. Kind of a love-hate relationship on the furniture. I bought this because I love the way it looks. But looks on everything, it does leave a little to be desired in grippiness. Maybe I'll try shooting with some gloves. That may help. But right now, this thing is slicker than the inside of a lady's thighs. It could use a bit of checkering. Like, I really love the way they did it here on the pistol grip. Maybe a little checkering on the forend would be a good thing. Speaking of the inside of a woman's thighs, see if my wife wants to come join me on the range. Babe, you want to shoot?
Oh, man.
All right, let me load a magazine. I'll see if I can get her to come shoot a mag. All right, so my wife is going to come out here and give this a shot. She's not really a big AK person either, but we'll see how she does.
Okay.
You can just shoot the big guy at 25. All right, put the safety on. All right. How do you like it?
I like it. I don't know if I like it with this coat though, because it kept sliding up.
Yeah, it's not a very grippy boy. All right, I'll set the camera back up and I'll take over. All right, guys, so that's my demonstration for the Attero Bravo mount. And sort of the beginning of the review for the PSA GF3 Bakelite AK47. I like it. So far, it's been great. It's been reliable. It's been pretty accurate. Kind of hate to admit it to myself, but as much as I love the way this furniture looks, it is a little slippery. But we're going to keep trying it. I don't want to change it, and we'll see how it does. As always, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Thanks for staying till the end. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you think there's anything I should do to this AK47. Any mods. Especially if you have a good idea for how to mount a light to this without changing the handguard and shit. I don't want to put a rail on it. The thing I like about this rifle is it's kind of light. So I don't want to add a bunch of weight to it. But every rifle does need a flashlight, in my opinion. So if you guys have a good idea for how to attach a light to this, let me know in the comments below. But as always, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Peace.